Yo, check it. Here's the story of Mike Cross. Listen close, started with the fam. Christmas time never froze. Brother CC on the drums, dad group in the bass. Mom singing with a drumstick, had a special place. See, I grabbed at the car, couldn't play it that well. But with record spinning, man, we cast the spell. From that moment on, music had my soul gripped. Rap music hit me hard, Sugar Hill Gang flipped. Now I'm in the game, no time to retreat. From the family jam to my own beat. Studio's my kingdom where I reign supreme. Making head nods, living the dream. I started from the bottom, now I'm climbing high. Learning every instrument, reaching for the sky. Guitar, keys, I'm mastering the whole scene. Crafting hits, living the music dream. From small gigs to big stages, yes, I'm on the rise. Every beat I drop, it's a sweet surprise. For what's next? I'm hungry for more. From a kid with a dream to the one they adore. Pushing boundaries, breaking through the noise. From the basement to the top, I'm making my choice. Music is my life, the ultimate devotion. For Christmas with the fam, with worldwide promotion. Now I'm in the game, no time to retreat. From the family jam to my own beat. Studio's my kingdom where I reign supreme. Making head nods, living the dream. Now I'm in the game, no time to retreat. From the family jam to my own beat. Studio's my kingdom where I reign supreme. Making head nods, living the dream.
So Uncle Mike, tell the people, what was the most memorable part of your music career?
Man, there are two big moments that stand out. First, going on 2 full tours. That experience was wild. That was a dream come true. But the biggest moment, working with Teddy Pendergrass. I had a song that actually landed on his album, but what made it unforgettable was being in the studio with him, a major studio, A-list producers in the room, and they were all looking to me for direction. These industry veterans were asking me what to do next. That was powerful. That moment showed me I really belonged in this game.
Studio's my kingdom where I reign supreme. Making head nods, living the dream.
My bad, y'all, my bad. Uncle Mike tried to do too many things. I tried to do a little intro. Check it out, man. Studio's my kingdom where I reign supreme, making head nods, living the dream. What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Check this out, man. I just got off the phone. We're doing some chat back, texting back and forth. When I get back to the States, the United States, I got a meeting set up for school. Go figure that out, right? A friend of mine, she's an English teacher at a school. And the school is, they have a, I don't know, all this is just brand new to me, y'all. They have a recording studio and they need an engineer, somebody for the kids to teach the school. And I said, well, this might be interesting because I'm doing a YouTube channel. I know all the kids want to do YouTube channel and stuff like that, and music. Everybody want to be a rapper and make beats and all this type of stuff. So that's right up my alley. And me personally, I have a clearance. I ain't never been to jail. I ain't never done nothing to hurt nobody, man. I got a squeaky clean background, so you can check my background. I ain't trying to, I don't even want to get paid by the school, man. Cause she keep telling me about, yeah, you can get into school and they'll pay you and this, that, and other, and they'll pay you. And I can get you on with the right person, man. So you can make sure you get your money. And I'm like, say something about money 5 different times. And I'm not doing it for the money. I mean, don't get me wrong. We all need money, but I just want to, promote and get into the school system to make sure that somebody good is getting into the school system, to help with the kids, so to speak. At least if I'm doing it, then I know ain't nobody doing anything bad toward the kids.
You know what this means?
No, what that mean? Love, heart, love. Check it out, man. One of the things that I was listening to the comments, and they were talking about the picture. My fiance is Filipino. She's not a snow bunny, even though she wanna get her skin whiter. I think I don't know. I like dark skinned women. She too white for me. I'm just joking, y'all. but yeah, but as far as the school, man, so it looked like I might be involved in the school after all this stuff. That's why I said all that. Studio's my kingdom where I reign supreme, make the head nods, living the dream. Yeah, that's bars. I'm spitting bars. Anyway, man, check this out. This part 2. Umar Johnson's owed $38,000. This is part 2. This thing is 5 hours long, man. And I was going through trying to skip, to narrow it down. But the information, you don't know when some good information is going to come. So skipping ain't that's out the question, man. Because he upset so many different things, man. Leonard, I didn't know that was him. That's him in the beginning playing the keyboard also. Okay, all right. But anyway, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Our kids in the United States in our area is going back to school August the 25th. So I might be, as soon as I get back, I'm going to go and meet with the school and meet with the staff and everything and see if it's worth my while. I don't know if they're going to be putting me on no payroll. I don't know if I'm going to be a teacher. I might be a teacher's aide or to help assist with the students. I ain't trying to go to school Monday through Friday either. I ain't trying to do that either. So we got to work out a schedule. Maybe we have studio class twice a week. I might be able to stomach that. Or after school activity. I ain't trying to be in there with all the kids running around. I ain't trying to do all that. But I'm willing to do something to help and maybe get the kids involved in the YouTube channels. That way y'all can see somebody doing something positive with these kids. Damn. Why it gotta be you, Mike? Somebody gotta do it. Anyway, man, thank y'all so much, man. I'm checking out the comments and everything, and you guys tripped me out, man. It was funny and everything. So, hey, man, let's get into it. Let's check this out, man. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's see. I don't even know where we left off at. Let's check this out, man.
So when he flipped the phone and showed the film, he talking about how he needs to move, right? He went with Wilmington. He never moved to Wilmington. He's a liar. He doesn't want to own up to the filth and none of that stuff. And in this case, he flipped the phone and it's all kind of. What do you mean you got to fold clothes? There's a bag of potatoes on the. It's shit stacked on top of. What are you talking about? Trash bags, oil.
Oh my God!
But what does Umar do? He start lying about it. Okay. Now, the point I want to make, right quick, the little gaming channel is that what he's doing is he's the same living conditions and living style that Umar had when he was had his apartment back in 2019 is the same mentality, living style that he brings to his mama's place. And just like when he flipped the phone back in 2019 at his own place, he tries to come up with a lie to kind of pass it off. That's how he lives. Well, he does the same thing in 2020 when he actually flipped the phone, see all that shit in there, and instead of owning up to it as a man, he has to create this narrative about how I need to fold some clothes. See, now, if a man lives in filth in 2019 in his own place, and then he's the primary caretaker for his mama, why would we think that somehow he's going to be clean once he moves in with his mama and live off of his mama? And when he flips the phone and show how he's living inside of that closet, instead of owning up to it, he tries to come up with an excuse. Well, why would people think that somehow he's serious about taking care of his mom and making sure that she's being properly cared for when he can't even manage this small little space that he's living in? He's a hoarder. Y'all see the point? We're going to get to the videos. Okay, I got the videos from today. Okay, thank you, a little gaming channel for the super chat. I appreciate it. I did it with Hell says when the accounts were locked, Umar panicked in less than 24 hours. This is his only source of income. Shouldn't he have multiple streams of income? Absolutely. He could have monetized on social media. He could have ran a legitimate online business.
Now that's what I keep saying. I'm not the top of the line most expert. I'm the worst speaker. I know it. Y'all know it. And y'all still roll with me. I'm the worst speaker, man. I'm not like this brother right here. This brother can speak. That's why I just do the reactions to what they talking about. Umar is a great speaker. He is a great speaker. I heard him talk and everything. Dude, if you could just turn the camera on and do this and make money, that's incredible to me. That's incredible. But you don't want to take time out and how to monetize. I heard his Instagram. He got 1 million followers on Instagram. It's not even monetized. That's dumb right there. That's a stupid person. That is dumb. How you going to teach some kids and you doing dumb things? That's dumb. That is just stupid. You got 1 million followers and you making Instagram money. You're making Instagram rich. Dr. Umar, which is who owns Instagram. I'll call you back. There you go. He's working for the enemy, right? Am I right or wrong? I must be right some kind of way. Hey, Uncle Mike ain't, you gotta, it's a riddle. When Uncle Mike speak, it's a riddle you gotta jump through.
See, he could have just set up a website where he's selling his books from the website, PDF versions of it too, where it's just residual income. He ain't got to worry about it. It's automatically delivered. Money just coming in.
By the way, Uncle Mike has a YouTube growth system book. It's $14. I'm selling it from my own website. It's a PDF download. See what I'm saying? This man right here is smart. Dude, when he speaks, I listen. Uncle Mike is in education mode. Why in the world you're not even doing that, Umar?
See, he could have just set up a website where he's selling his books from the website, PDF versions of it too, where it's just residual income. He ain't got to worry about it. It's automatically delivered. Money coming in while he's asleep. He could set up a website where, if parents want to contact him through the website and they can meet on Zoom or whatever and they pay a fee, he could have done that. See, he could have monetized social media and been a multi-millionaire by now. Real talk. See? There's all types of things that Umar could have done. But you see, he panics and he goes into panic mode when his bank accounts allegedly are frozen. See, he don't have no change nowhere. He ain't got no cash on hand someplace. Why not? He don't got no credit cards. I got too many credit cards. I need to cancel at least 2 of them. I don't even really be using them.
Me neither, man.
I just do it for the credit mix. Anyway,
Credit cards, baby.
why doesn't Umar have these things in place?
Too many credit cards.
Because in the real world, Umar's not functional in that way, and he's not a good steward of money either. He's not a good steward for money. He's not even a good steward for his own mama. What kind of man? So listen, I did it with hell. He has no excuse. Real talk. I do very well on social media, on YouTube in particular. And if I could do what I'm doing on YouTube I don't have a lot of subscribers. Umar, he has no excuse. Except that he's a functional idiot. I don't mean to be harsh like that, but it's true. See, Polite was the same way. See, he put on this whole persona like he was balling out and he's doing all well. And he's, doing all these deals and dressing all fancy and got his women dressing like, well, let me stop. But I do realize behind the scenes, there was a time where he was homeless too. Living in and out of hotel, motel rooms. Y'all know that? I have all the receipts on that from a firsthand account. Rest in peace to, I can't remember his name right now. Crypto Roots. Rest in peace, Crypto Roots. He explained all that. Polite talking all health conscious, but behind the scenes, he eating any and everything that he can, including fast food. Charlatan. Just like Umar. Same thing. Functional idiots. They can memorize stuff real good, dates, numbers, and all that. They can talk well, but outside of that, you look how Umar living. See? Thanks, I didn't with him. He ain't got no excuse. Umar, he don't. Could multi-millionaire by now at the age of 50 if he had just maximized on social media alone. Just on social media alone, he ain't even got to go do no lectures. But he's so busy trying to get into these women's draws. He can't do that while he just online, right? He got to travel. That's why he travel. He don't travel. They give him a place to stay. They give him a warm meal, a cotton, a warm meal, and he have access to cooch. That's what it comes down to. All right, thanks. I didn't tell. And don't say nothing about no snow bunnies to me today, okay? Not today. I don't feel like it, okay? I don't feel like talking to you about that. All right. We got about 3,400, almost 3,500 people in the chat room. Congrats, undefeated. We ain't even got started yet. Thank you. I didn't tell. I normally don't live stream on the weekend, but we had to get it in today. Bougie Barbie says, do you think Umar will get a loan from the white man, as he says, to keep the buildings? There's no way that he's going to qualify for a loan. There's no way. His credit, I'm sure. Listen, Umar has tax liens. Umar has child support. That's in the rears. Umar has hundreds of thousands of dollars, in my opinion, hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt. He was in college pursuing degrees for 20 years, and he talks about how he took out loans for 20 years. Listen, if he ain't paying on basic stuff to keep these abandoned buildings, y'all think he's been paying on his and he ain't paying child support on time, y'all think he's paying on his student loans? He wouldn't even qualify. He probably wouldn't even qualify for one credit card right now. You see what I'm saying? So a loan, no, I highly doubt that. And see, Umar, he's burned so many bridges, he can't even go to someone that's credible, that has money, that would say, okay, well, listen, I'll loan you this money, but I'm gonna need the money by here. By this point, here's the interest rate. He's not even in a position to do that. But you know, he should. The truth is, he shouldn't be in this position in the first place after collecting a bare minimum of $1.7 million. Okay, I like to have my figures right on the money, and I like to be factual.
The bare minimum.
So what I've proven in my research, without a shadow of a doubt, I got the wrong page, that Umar has raised a bare minimum, or the wrong
bare minimum. You have to take that in consideration. The bare minimum. And we know that's a lie. It's way more than that. It gotta be, man. It gotta be.
Whatchamacallit. I got another one somewhere around here. I think it's this one. He's raised a bare, here it is, a bare minimum of $1,677,860. He shouldn't be in this position. The bandos cost $400,420. He shouldn't be in this position. See, Umar, if he acquired these trap bandos in Wilmington, Delaware, back in the day, for $400,000, which is the online receipt, but he says a little more than that. So we'll go with his word. We're gonna go with $420,000. Let's say $425,000, and then we take the $1,677,860 that I've been able to prove. It's without a shadow of a doubt that he's raised, and we subtract the $425,000 for the purchase price for these abandoned buildings.
Bandos.
We're talking. Is that a 7? Yeah, 5, 2. We're talking about Umar. If he didn't do anything else after acquiring these abandoned buildings, he should still be sitting on $1,252,860. And I just did the math by hand, so I didn't get to use the calculator. So
yeah, the thing that tripped me out is 1 million he should be sitting on. Even if you live in, I don't know, the average person, let's say the average job is what, 70,000 a year, 80,000 a year. Okay, let's say 100,000 a year. Nobody making 100 grand a year. That's 6 figures, right? If he was spending $100,000 a year for at least 4 years, that's another $400,000 gone. Where the money going, cousin? That's all the people want to know is where the money going, and you know.
This may be a little off, but okay. I mean, I could redo it. I just put it in the margins over here. It's not. So if we just took the purchase price and all the money that I've proven conclusively, without a shadow of a doubt, that Umar has raised $1,677,860, we're gonna subtract the purchase price of $400,000, but we're gonna say $425,000 because Umar says a little more than that. There's left over $1,252,860. Have we seen $1,252,860 in renovation work? And I have Umar on record back in 2019 saying that it's going to cost $1 million to renovate and restore both campuses, what he calls both buildings, both sides of the street. He said $1 million. Well, if by now he's collected $1,252,860 outside of the purchase price, why isn't renovations done yet? Well, because he's a con man. So the point I'm making, Bougie Barbie, is that Umar shouldn't even be in this position in the first place, but he's been living off of this money. That's a lot of money, $1,252,860 to live off of. Well, if you put this in, over the course of 11 years, and of course Umar did, he bought an HVAC unit allegedly, for I think he said $25,000 or $50,000. He bought blueprints. I say allegedly because he never provided any receipts on how much it actually cost. He said that cost $20,000. Block parties don't count because that's a waste of money. It ain't got nothing to do with no kids, educating no kids. See, he did some painting here and there, painting in here. Well, that's not going to equal $1,252,860. Right. He did get some electricity work. I think it was like, if memory serves me correct, I think it was $60,000. But for some reason, I keep thinking $16,000. But let's go with $60,000. That's still not going to see. There's so much money that's missing. Taxes that were paid. He never provided any receipt that he paid the taxes. I don't even remember ever recalling Umar saying and stating that he actually paid the taxes. It's possible that someone else paid those taxes. And if they did, I know who it was. I ain't gonna get into that. Okay, because then we get into the conspiracy theory. I don't want to do that.
Brother, you are.
And I know one damn, if that comes out and it's true, boy. It's gonna be Umar.
Boy.
But let's give him that. We're gonna give him the Umar. Let's say he paid for those back taxes. Okay, there's still going to be about $900,000 missing.
Boy.
Okay, bare minimum. We're not counting how much all the money he raised in 2014, 15, 16, or 17. Yeah, 14, 15, 16, and 17. We could consider 18 too, but we're going to go with those. Okay. All right. Thank you, Bougie Barbie.
Boy.
Funky Lollipop says, look at this prosperity pimp. Yeah, you're talking about Jay Morrison. Yeah, he tried to get into that lane, but it just didn't work. See? Umar, at a certain point, he's going to have to pivot and he's going to have to try to get into another lane because obviously with everything's going on with this FDMG buildings, he may not even own these buildings within the next couple of months. See?
Boy.
Huh? Yeah, Jay Morrison, boy, I tell you, he's something else. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, KR says, I learned a new term. He's a communal narcissist. Yeah, there's people who have expressed that in the past. This has a lot to do with like cult dynamics too. Communal narcissist. Thank you, KR, for the super chat. Hey, I got to do these other ones real quick because we already had an hour and 30 minutes and we still got quite a bit to get to today. User 225 says, make a compilation of Umar Johnson spitting game at white women. I only have one video, okay, where he does that. Okay, thank you for that. Karen says, adult protective services need to get in that house. There have been efforts to make that happen too. Umar does not allow people to come in. Okay, he locks it down.
Not adult protective service. Now I know about that because I didn't even know it was a such thing as adult protective service. I ain't know that. I'm like, well, go on with your bad self. Right on. And you know what tripped me out? The saddest thing about adult protective service, when they got involved with me and my aunt's case, right? The guy was trying to take my aunt's house, and Uncle Mike to the rescue. I stepped in and everything, and the adult protective service kept asking me, well, what is your what do you have to do with the house? And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't have nothing to do with the house. Well, is the house in your name or is it supposed to be willed to you or something? No, that's my aunt. And Adult Protective Service has said to me, 2 or 3 of them, they said, this is the first case we ever had where the family member is fighting for the family member. Did I say that right? In other words, it's always the family trying to get something out of the house. They trying to get the equity out of the house. They trying to get their share. Oh, I own this. She died. I supposed to get this. Me. I. And I was like, so then they had a nerve to ask me. They said, are you sure you ain't getting nothing out of this house? Oh my God. What you mean if I'm sure? I don't want nothing out of the house. That's my aunt. This is my aunt, and this man is he's trying to take my aunt's house. Not on my watch. That's all I kept saying. That ain't my house. That's my auntie house. Am I wrong? I must be wrong. Anyway, let's keep going, man. Let's keep going.
Adult Protective Services need to get in that house. There have been efforts to make that happen too. Umar does not allow people to come in. Okay, he locks it down. You know, in fact, I believe it was the February 2019 school announcement. Umar gets a phone call, and it's his mama. And she talks about how there's this black guy outside that's knocking on the door. And Umar says, don't open up that door now. I think it was that video. It could have been another one because it's been such a long time ago. But he tells her specifically, don't open up that door. Okay. Now, when Umar's live streaming, he's at his apartment because he did have an apartment his own apartment in 2019. He doesn't move into his mama's, start living off of his mama in her Section 8 housing until 2020. But the point is that, and his apartment wasn't too far from where his mama continues to stay with Section 8 housing. But the point is that even then he was giving her instructions not to open up the door. Well, he does not allow anyone inside of the house unless, he's in control. He has to be in control. Okay, so if he has someone come take care of her like Lene, he has to be in control. And then he gave Lene specific instructions not to open up the door for anyone. If you open up the door, turn off the lights first, do what you have to do, shut the door quick, blah, 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 lock it, et cetera, et cetera. See? So this ought to say that Adult Protective Services they've been called and there's stuff going on behind the scenes. I can't speak too much about that, but hopefully at some point Umar's mother will be in a much better position, because what Umar's done is heinous. And what he continues to do is just horrible to do your mama like that or do anyone like that. It's inhumane. Thank you, Karen.
When Adult Protective Service get involved, they get in quick. They can get in quick. I'm talking about almost damn near the same day. If the police is called, I went knocking on the door, trying to get to my aunt, and this guy who lives there is not gonna open the door. We called the police. The police started getting Adult Protective Service involved. So now the Adult Protective Services, because the police can't go in. They can't go in without a warrant or whatever the hell. So once they got involved, they made one phone call and they said, they had I don't know what, it wasn't a warrant, because the police officer said, well, this is not a warrant, this is a no-knock entry. Right for entry or whatever the hell they call it. Shit. Excuse me, y'all. But long story short is that happened within an hour, and we was up in the house checking on my auntie and asking the questions and stuff. There ain't nothing this went on and on and on for another 2 or 3 months. We finally got her out the house. We had to almost cheat, lie, and steal. Even the police officers didn't want to lock me up. And I said, man, you're a good dude, man. Behind that badge. I mean, doing your job correctly would have been taking me to jail because I broke in the house. But damn well we've been going through this for months. And good and well I wasn't supposed to be locked up because I'm protecting my aunt. I was out there passing out flyers. I was passing out paragraphs of this dude saying exactly what he's trying to steal my aunt's house. Yeah. And he had one try to give one to the police officer. I'm like, you ain't got to give him. You can keep yours. I got one for you, officer. Here you go. I got one for you. Got one for you. I was passing them out. You think I'm hiding? Nigga, please. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me, y'all.
Be in a much better position, because what Umar's done is heinous. And what he continues to do is
it's just embarrassing
to do your mama like that or do anyone like that. It's inhumane. Thank you, Karen.
It's embarrassing.
Dean said, "Can you play FDMG is coming at 2000?" No. Because we really got to get going. We got almost 3,500 people here. Thank you, Dean. Let me read. I got to read these real quick, y'all. User 225 says, only thing he's ever opened is his cheeks. All right. D Shot says Umar is an Instagram. Umar is an Instagramian struggle activist. Yeah, he calls everyone else struggle streaming, but obviously Umar struggling. We all struggle in life. I've struggled in life. Okay, in different areas, we get that. But see, Umar, that's more projecting. He wants to demean his critics. Okay, so all he can do is call the names and take shots. That's it, like that. But it's more immaturity than anything else. The truth of the matter is that Umar is struggling in life, and he's struggling on social media too. Because if you have over 1 million followers on Instagram, but you're not making a dime, something's wrong. You struggling. You are truly a struggle streamer. And you ain't even got change sitting around so that if your bank accounts get quote unquote frozen, you got some money. So who's really struggling? Okay. Mm-hmm. Thanks, DS Shot or D Shot for super chat. CJ says, could Umar's BS cost him? Let's see. Could Umar's BS could cost mom her benefits. I don't think so. I think what would probably happen is that there would have to be some sort of court injunction to where Umar is not in control of his mama, and that her finances are not in his control, and that he's not allowed to live there. Okay. And perhaps that him being the primary caretaker legally speaking, that ultimately that's taken away, and that then someone else can come in, perhaps one of his family members who can truly care for his mama and truly loves his mama, could come in and actually become the primary caretaker. I think that's what would take place, because ultimately the mother's benefits, those are going to be secured because of her situation, regardless of what Umar is doing. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad that she's even in this type of a situation. But again, it speaks to who? Umar. See, Umar's the common denominator to all of this mess. Thanks, CJ. Brother Ted says, Umar is such an expert on kids and families. Do we know the odds he'll win an award for Father of the Year? You know, he's spoken at conferences, is talking about fatherhood and manhood and all stuff. It's crazy. And the truth is, he's a deadbeat. He's a baby mama creator. He don't take care of his own kids. He tells black men what we should do, but he's not a family man. I'm a family man. And I'm not perfect, but I'm a family man. Umar's not a family man. He's not even committed. He says when I'm dating, he's not even dating in a traditional sense. He's just talking about the women that he's had sexual experiences with, that he sexually exploits. That's all he's talking about. Listen, Umar, if you fly into a city and you meet up with a woman and you have sex with her, that don't mean that you're dating her, homeboy. What you talking about?
Home skillet.
You understand what I'm saying? And then you fly into another city and you find another woman to have sex with. That don't mean you dating her and dating the other woman. What you talking about,
What you talking about, Willis?
When I date this woman, and when I dated, no. Listen, homeboy, Trick Daddy number one. You listen, you tricking off. That ain't got nothing to do with dating. So he ain't even got that together yet, let alone being in a committed, long-standing relationship, let alone having some babies and raising a family. He's not a family man. He a trick. Real talk. He's a black conscious trick daddy. All right. Thanks, Brother Ted. Father of the Year. Yeah. Michael says, if Umar loses FDMG, can he still make it as a social media personality? No platform seems to care about his lies and behavior, so I think he'll survive. Yeah, I think he could. Again, the difference, though, is that Umar's primary source of bringing money in, is through donations for FDMG. So if you take FDMG out of the equation, what does he do? What does he do then? See, even if he does social media, it's not going to be enough for Umar to maintain his lifestyle. He got all these addiction issues. He's traveling all over the world. The travel expenses and him to be able to be in different places and buying stuff and ordering out food and Uber and all this stuff, that's coming out of donation money for FDMG. So you take that out the equation, he's not going to be able to ask for money anymore for FDMG. So what is he going to ask for money for in order to continue to live out his lifestyle? That's the conundrum that Umar is in right now.
Well,
if these buildings are taken away from him, he can't keep saying that, listen, I need money for FDMG. He's going to have to come up with something else. Just like more recently, he said, I need money so I can take care of myself and take care of my mama. You see how what he's doing there? But that didn't work. So you best believe that if FDMG is taken off of the table, he's not going to be able to ask for money, because people are going to be through at that point.
Right. He needs something to talk about. If you're not talking about that school, building that school, what is he going to preach about to get money from people, to get viewers, to get listeners? Yeah, that's a good point right there.
Most people, I would say, including a lot of his staunch supporters, they're going to be through with this guy. So would he be able to still survive? No, I don't think, not in the way that he is now. He's still in survival mode anyway. It's not like he has his own home or his own place, his own vehicle or anything like that. He doesn't have, he's basically a vagabond. But the point is that would he be able to survive enough to be able to continue to live out his lifestyle? No. He would have to really downgrade certain things, and he would not be able to do what he does, especially when it comes to the substance abuse issues. That's going to be a major problem. So I'm telling you, this is a critical time for Umar. Okay, we'll continue to cover it. Thank you, Michael, for super chat. Appreciate it. I'm almost at the bottom here. Katavet says King Kong of consciousness is going to really turn up the heat on begging like a parasite looking for a host. We'll have to wait and see. See, again, Umar, he's in a serious predicament right now, because when he started begging allegedly because his bank accounts were frozen, that turned a lot of people off. People still going in on him for that, including a lot of his followers. I've seen so many people, Umar followers, is like, listen, I've been defending you. and I've been defending you against the haters and blah, blah, blah. I've even seen people say, well, listen, it looks like Lennon Arnold was right. I thought, he was just a hater, but I can't defend you anymore. Okay, wait, when he gets to that point, what is he going to do? Okay, well, that's where he's at now. What can he do? See, so he could come out soon in the next couple of days and within the next week, because he always has to come back to begging. He can start asking for money, but for what though exactly? So that he can pay off this $38,388. But why would he have to have these bills lingering when after he purchased these abandoned buildings, he would have been sitting on a bare minimum of $1,252,086. Excuse me, $1,252,860. Shouldn't he have just right away paid off, what was already due based upon 2016 that's still that he's responsible for when he acquired these abandoned buildings in February 2019? Yeah, that's what he should have done, and set money aside to pay the bills moving forward.
And I know he's sitting back watching this. I know he's sitting back watching this with the defense up. He's saying things like, "Now look, they over there counting my money." No. We ain't counting your money. This is the donation money. Stop reflecting and stop and start understanding how we feel about this. If you try to understand from another person's perspective, no matter what the situation is, try to understand from another person's perspective and break it all the way down before you jump on the fact that it's been over 10 years and you haven't opened this school up. It's clear that you raised over $1 million. It's clear that you raised over $1 million. It's clear. And you're doing block parties and you're talking too much negativity about people, man.
All of this is wasted money because there's still no school. There's still no, not one black child has been educated. It's a waste of money.
It's bad.
So we'll have to wait and see. Okay, we're gonna have to wait and see. He's gonna have to do something.
This is very bad, man. This is very bad.
Thanks, Katavet. Smitty Boy, what's up? Says, what's up, Uncle Lennon? You are in rare form. Live on a Saturday. I love it. I couldn't believe it. Now I get to enjoy my Popeyes while you go in on Umar. All right, make sure you have the biscuits. Okay, I had the butter biscuits. I used to love them biscuits when I was in college the first time. As they put the honey on them. Yeah, I normally don't live stream. It feels like old times. So I used to live stream on Saturdays. And I think I used to live stream on Friday. Yeah, Fridays and Saturdays. Yeah, thanks, Smitty Boy, for super chat. Brother Jose, ¿cómo está? Says, do you think Nick Cannon donated to FDMG? I think he did. He's from Diego too. San Diego. Yeah, I think he did. I think he probably put some money down, but ain't nothing come out of it, obviously. That's another one. Nick Cannon had interviewed Umar a couple of times. I would think at this time, if he had Umar back on, he should ask critical questions. Like, what's up with the school, bro? You know what I'm saying? Last time he was on, you were talking about you only needed this done and this and this. So what's up? Here you are years later and there's still no school. What's going on with that? But they tend not to ask critical questions like that. Shout out to Brother Jose. Appreciate you. Good to see you too. User225 says, okay, I understand the entertainment angle of having Umar Johnson on. Will letting him do this, his tired old trick, ever become less entertaining than exposing him? I think at some point it will. Again, it's what Umar has done over the years, and it's really decades now, as a con man and as a con artist, his reputation precedes him. And there are a lot of people they don't find it to be entertaining anymore because they see who he is and what he is. You understand what I'm saying? That there's someone had mentioned, I can't remember who had mentioned this. They had talked about how when there's an accident, like on the freeway, it's not the accident. Many times it's not the accident that slows traffic down because they could move the accident, the cars over to the lane all the way to the right or all the way to the left for that matter. But let's say all the way to the right, and traffic is clear to go, but people slow down to stop to watch, and that's what over time it just backs up, traffic backs up, and backs up. Well, I think that can be applied to Umar. That there are a lot of people, they see entertainment value of Umar crashing out on the side of the road. But at a certain point, because Umar lies so much, and some people, even his followers, they still see him crash now, but they still follow him and they want to be down with him for whatever reason. But what ends up happening is that they've had to slow down so much and the traffic has gotten so heavy that at a certain point they get tired of the shit. And it's already past that point. It's not like how it used to be. If we go back in the day, let's say King Kong Conscious, the YouTube page. If you go back in the day, you would see a lot of people in there defending Umar. They would be, a lot of them would be talking shit about me back in the day. Well, these days you don't see that. You see King Kong Consciousness largely is people who are criticizing Umar. And sometimes they even mention me, say, hey, Lennon was right. Okay. So I think that's the difference. I think the tables have already turned. I just think that it's a matter of degree. How Umar plays this current scenario out, once more people learn about the fact that he owes $38,388 for bills associated with FDMG, going back to 2016, which is crazy because he didn't get the properties until February of 2019, and how he's been begging for all these other issues. And he's right now, today, he was up there at a like a block party top, like a festival. Why isn't he handling this business that needs to be taken care of? And where's the rest of this money? See, that's all traffic backing up. And then people at a certain point says, I'm tired of this shit. See, so let's see what Umar says next, how he tries to play this off. And then let's see what the response is from his followers. A lot of times it's cognitive dissonance. They know something's not right with Umar. They know that he's lying, but then they keep going with it. But more and more people are waking up because they're tired of the traffic. Okay? Thanks, user 225. Timmy Diamond says, to further put it into perspective, I donated to this guy when I was a teenager. Since then, I've graduated high school, congratulations, college, congratulations, graduate school, congratulations, and helped my wife open a daycare center. Congratulations. This guy still can't open the school. And there you have it.
Shout out, baby. Shout out to you. That's what
I ain't got nothing else to say on that. That's what I want to. That's it. I'll read it again. I'll do that just to piss Umar off because I know he's watching right now.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. This is what I want to hear because Lord Jamar said the same thing. He said, come on, brother. He said, look, man, basically it's been, back then it was like 6 years or six-ish years. I don't want to, you're a YouTuber, boy. They can quote your tail. You said this word wrong. You used this dangling participle. Man, just get to the point. The point is it's been quite some time you've been talking about opening up this school. People have been donating, and you still haven't opened up the school. That ain't good, man. I mean, I don't understand. I'm trying to figure it out.
I'm going to read it again. To further, and this is from Timmy Diamonds, to further put it in perspective, I donated to this guy, meaning Umar, when I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. Since then, I've graduated high school, college, graduate school, and helped my wife open a daycare center. This guy still can't open the school.
It don't take that long to open a school, man. It really doesn't.
I got nothing else to say on that. Except congratulations. That's awesome too. That's the other thing. Umar, he epitomizes like the worst. Okay, but then there are also brothers that are handling business. See, Umar owes $38,388 because he hasn't been handling business. He was on the hook for you donors were on the hook for about $140,000. I think it was $140,000. I done forgot already. In property taxes because Umar didn't handle business. See, Umar's bank accounts were allegedly frozen because someplace somewhere he's not handling business. He's begging for money for himself and for his mama, even though he done raised over $1.6 million because he's not handling business. See, Umar, he's being pulled into child support. He has bench warrants. He's been to jail because of non-payment for child support because he's not handling business. You guys see the point? But we do have brothers who handle business.
Facts.
My show, this is handling business.
Facts.
See? When I go to work, that's handling business. When I pay bills, that's handling business. See, Umar ain't doing none of that. And yeah, he still can't open the school because he don't handle business. All right. Shout out to Timmy Diamonds. That's a powerful testimony right there. Congratulations, too. And to your wife. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Brother Jose says, don't forget about the $500 Umar took from the YouTuber Gideon. I think that's his name, Gideon, something like that. Yeah, he scammed Gideon out of $500. Yeah, Gideon was kind of trolling, but still, you know what I'm saying? Umar scammed him. I forgot about that. He scammed Gideon out of $500. Yeah, he'll scam anybody. Thanks, Brother Jose. TV says, Andrew Soch defended Umar today on his podcast. Whatever. Defend him how? Defend him for, I would have to watch to see what he's trying to. I guess there's things that you could defend about Umar, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to this FDMG school scam, there's no defense for it. Again, Umar, after acquiring these trap bandos, if he didn't spend any money after he acquired these trap bandos in 2019, today he should be sitting on $1,252,860. And I have him on record in 2019 saying that it's going to cost $1 million to fully restore and renovate both sides of the street, meaning the whole campus. Okay, it's going to cost $1 million. Okay, well, he's right. He should have, if he didn't spend any money on anything else, he should have $1,252,860. So why isn't renovation complete in 2025? So you can't defend him on that. Maybe he's defending him on something else. I don't know. Thanks, TB, for super chat. User 225 says, I think these platforms see Umar Johnson as free content if they don't bring up FDMG. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Win-win. They get clicks, get paid. Audience stays oblivious to FDMG. Yeah, it benefits Umar, I think, more than anyone else. You know, it benefits them, obviously, you know, because they get a lot of traction. I get that. But it benefits Umar because those videos can be seen in 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. See this? 30, 31, 32, 33. And these people who see these videos, they're going to assume, if they don't know much about Umar, or maybe they know a little bit, but not enough, they're going to assume that Umar's on the up and up and he's trying to open up a school. They're going to try to figure out a way to donate or to support him or to defend him in some cases. See? Yeah, that's troubling. That's troubling. Yeah. So in my opinion, Umar benefits the most when he goes onto these platforms for various reasons, but it's the long-term impact that these videos can have even after, let's say, Umar loses these properties, if that happens. See, I mean, this is wild. Thanks, YouTube. Okay, I'm almost at the bottom. Yarapa says, at this point, if you still think Umar is going to open the school, then I got a few bridges in New York to sell you. Yeah, that's a cognitive dissonance. Again, if someone says you're going to do something, and as an example, Umar said that the schools in 2010, he said the school's going to open September 11, 2013. We're now in 2025. Real talk. In about a month, the schools are going to be 12 years late? 12 years past due, like these bills. 12 years past due. And there are people who still, and maybe you can sell them a few bridges in New York. Okay. You might be able to sell some sand in the desert too. Okay. Thanks, Arapa, for the super chat. D says, FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. All right. All right. Stacy says, Umar hacked into your YouTube account. Umar, he don't even know how to use computers properly. Okay. Real talk. I can tell. Thanks, Stacy. Nate says, as a person with ADHD who can be a pack rat myself off meds, I think he has ADHD and won't take meds. Ironic, given his education. Umar admitted that he had ADHD. There's one video. He tells people that it doesn't exist, but there's one video where he admits it. He said he struggles with it I have the video. He says he struggled with it for his whole life. I can try to find it and pull it up, but he says, I've struggled with that for my whole life. See, a lot of what Umar does when he's giving this information to Black people, it's really his own personal issues. It's projecting. See, so Umar, he calls ADHD ain't no daddy at home disorder. He's really talking about the fact that his daddy wasn't in his home. Jamal Johnson. This is what I'm saying. People got to get down with this research. Real talk. That's what he's talking about. So instead of Umar dealing with the ADHD and getting treatment and figuring out, that's why Umar never finished anything too either. You have to learn the skills needed in order to overcome ADHD. And there's plenty of people who are able to do so. Highly successful, highly intelligent. They do what they do. But they have to develop the skill set. It's really like coping mechanism in order to navigate that particular issue. Everyone has some issue, real talk. Umar never learned that, and he's in complete denial of it, even though he knows that he has ADHD. So what he does is he concocts this whole thing about it's really ain't no daddy at home disorder, but he's talking about himself. And then he'll say, but because my daddy, because he was in my life, his daddy wasn't in his life. You see how twisted it gets? That's why I don't have ADHD. But then I have him saying, listen, I have ADHD. I've struggled with it for my whole life. And there's plenty of people, some of y'all in the chat room have it. It is what it is. Everybody got something going on, real talk. But Umar is in complete denial. And then he gives all this false information to Black people with their kids based upon his own personal issues that he hasn't resolved for himself. And he's not getting any level of treatment so that he can have the coping mechanism needed to get shit done. That's why he don't ever get shit done. Even when he be talking, he started talking about one thing. All of a sudden, he talk about cookies. What you talking? I thought you was talking about the boys. Now you talking about crushing cookies. Then he talking about Snow Bunny. He loved talking about Snow Bunny. He want one. He want one of them big ones. Then he talk about the haters. Then he's back to talking about boys. And then he's talking about FDMG. I need money. And then CashApp when he had it. Then he said PayPal. All this stuff. That's what he do. He haven't developed the coping mechanisms needed. So he's in complete denial. But I have it. I have the video where he said he admits it. I think he got other stuff too that he's been diagnosed with, but he's in total denial of it. Real talk, in my opinion, I believe. Okay. Thanks, but the ADHD, he admitted it. I got that. I have that receipt. I think for the super chat. I'm almost at the bottom. Dave F says, Lenore been showing us AI videos this whole time. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I think when I downloaded it, I had the caption thing on to convert it to a different language, and so it did that. But when I played it from the website, it was fine. Yeah, that was really weird. I don't even know what language. It sounded like German. Thanks, Dave, for super chat. Sal says, I'll say it then. The feds paid it, and we'll pay again. I don't know. I don't know who paid the taxes. I don't know. Did Umar pay it? It's possible, but it's also possible that someone else paid it, which leads into a conspiracy theory. And I have a video that will kind of show y'all, but I'm not going to do that because that's that's people like, what? Wow. And then people start running with it. Yeah. Lennon said, no. Thanks, Al, for a super chat. Britt the Trucker says, Umar is a double-talking cookie monster who targets women who are either sapiosexuals or ignorant of his skin. Thanks, Al, for a super chat. Britt the Trucker says, Umar is a double-talking cookie monster who targets women who are either sapiosexuals or ignorant of his scheme. Lennon, you put me up on his game and saved my Cookie Crush coin. Well, save them cookies, okay? So save the Cookie Crush coins. Let me see. What is sapio? I don't even know what that is. Let me look it up. I'm always learning something. Sapiosexuality refers to the sexual or romantic attraction to intelligence and intellect. Okay. Essentially, it's when someone finds intelligence to be a highly desirable and attractive quality in a potential partner, sometimes even more so than physical appearance or other traditional traits. Okay, yeah, that's very interesting. So Umar is a double-talking cookie monster who targets women who are either sapiosexuals. Okay, thank you. Yeah, this is really good. Or
maybe that's what I need. Ain't nobody attracted to my intelligence. Ain't too much up there. Wow.
Ignorant to his scheme. Lennon, you put me up on his game and saved my Cookie Crush coin. Yeah, save them coins.
I learned something, baby.
They're valuable. Okay. Thank you, Britt, for the super chat. And thank you for sharing that, because I think that's true. Yeah, sexual romantic attraction to intelligence and intellect. Okay. Thanks, Britt. User25 says the bandos are a magnet for hobos, drug, and crime. They are. I have videos of homeless people sleeping on the steps and all kind of other stuff. Even if he miraculously paid, city would still take them away for being a complete disease on the area. And they've put in money to get, the city has put in money to get stuff fixed up there and cleaned up there, because Umar's not handling business. I guess that's the theme for today.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays itself out. Okay, and we'll get to those receipts. Y'all give me 5 more minutes to get to these the rest of these super chats. And thanks everyone. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. And then we'll get into the short presentation of what the receipts that I shared yesterday, and then we'll get into the video for today. The videos for today. I'm trying to get them all done today. Thanks, user 225. Amir says, can you put together a by the year photo vid? I would like to see the physical change to you talk about the abandoned buildings. I could do something like that. Anyone can do that. What they could do is go on to King Kong Conscious and just look for videos where Umar's standing outside. And in all fairness, Amir, Umar he's made some improvements. He has, but they're superficial. Everything's superficial, right? The buildings, and I'm just talking about on one side of the street. Okay, the other side of the street, he hasn't done anything over there. That's the large building. But he got some electricity turned on. He got some water turned on. Allegedly, he said that he got the gas. He said that years ago, but there's no way of really verifying that, because he did get an HVAC unit put up on the roof. He says that it was functional, but then he said he needed controls. He's waiting on controls. Well, if you don't have the controls to turn it on and make it work, then it's not functional. Okay. He's painted on the exterior, but it still looks horrible. It wasn't professionally done. They didn't do any prep work. They're painting over mold. You know, they didn't nothing, no prep work before. They just painted right over the previous paint. He painted on the inside, and it actually looks worse on the inside now since he painted these horrible looking colors than it did prior. I don't even know why he did that. Anyone ever figure that out? I mean, he has lime green in there. I mean, what child gonna be in there like 1 + 1 is 15. 1 plus, you know what I'm saying? These poor kids. He got one room that's all red. What is going on here? What you doing up in this school with the red room? What in the world? These bandos look worse. The paint job on the inside makes it look, I don't even know what he's thinking. What is he thinking? A black conscious circus he's gonna have it? I don't know. Anyway, everything is superficial. Okay? But I give him credit for the stuff that he has done, even though in some cases it makes things look worse. But at the end of the day, he's no more closer to opening up a school legitimately here in 2025 than he was in 2020. Real talk. Thanks, Amir. For super chat, L says, has Umar not worked since 2005 or 2010? Okay, my research shows that Umar, he hasn't worked consistently since 2010, 2011, and it coincides with Umar. He tells a story how he gave up his career as a school psychologist because he wants to elevate the people and educate the people. Okay, that would be 2010, 2011-ish. Okay. So just to be clear about this, Umar did work as a school psychologist starting in 2000. He did an internship in 2000. He starts working in Philadelphia School District in 2001 at the age of 27. He works as a school psychologist. He stops working in the school district of Philadelphia in 2006. So he worked for about 5 years. Okay. He then starts to do work as a school psychologist at charter schools, and that starts in 2007. And then by 2010, Umar starts at the age of 36, he starts on the lecture scene. And that's what he's been doing ever since. Okay. There is some evidence that would lead me to believe, okay, I can't say it as a statement of fact, that Umar was employed for about 6 months in 2014. All right. But I haven't been able to verify that. And I do give him credit for that. That's why I say specifically, he hasn't worked consistently since 2010, 2011. Okay. And again, 2011, that also coincides with what? Hidden Colors. Okay, then there's Hidden Colors 2. Umar starts to blow up, and he hasn't worked consistently since 2011, right? All right. 2005, that correlates. He was in college at that time. He was working as, because he's been in college for like 20 years, from 1997 through 1992 through 2012. He was in higher education. But the point is that in 2005, that correlates to Umar's resignation with the UNIA. But at that same time, he starts at PCOM pursuing a master's of science. And he was there at PCOM for a total of 8 years, going all the way to 2012, where he gets his ID. All right. Thanks for the super chat. Kelly says, why does the government not intervene with this grip? I think the government has to a degree. The government, when it comes to the IRS in particular, they revoked Umar's first nonprofit back in 2017. So that is a form of intervention because he was scamming. He was collecting all this money, crazy money too back then. And he wasn't reporting anything to the IRS, and he's collecting the money under a nonprofit. So it's not taxable. See, Umar messed up though, because if you're not reporting to the IRS, they revoke your nonprofit status. Umar still, that's why if you guys are going to look at Umar's financials, that's when you start to see all these tax liens start to come up. Because the government was like,
I'm sorry. He going to say something else. God dang it. If y'all see me leaning in and putting my glasses on, I'm looking at these cuties. I'm looking at these cuties, baby.
You didn't report any of this money, and so therefore it's considered to be personal income. And so therefore you're subject to taxation, and he gets all these tax liens. It's a mess. He didn't get tax exempt status again until 2020. It's a mess. See? Most of Umar collecting money for FDMG, it's considered to be legally, it's considered to be personal income. Most of it. See, because he never reported back in the day, and then he gets tax exempt status in 2020, which is not retroactive. It's a whole different entity. He has a totally different EIN number. And then 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and now 2025. That's 5 years where it's under this nonprofit. People think about this. All the other years, listen, that's considered to be personal income, legally speaking. See? Thanks, Kelly. Charles says, Lennon, I have to come clean. I was interrogated by the FDMG FBI. I remember Umar talking about FDMG FBI. During questioning, they gave me zebra cakes and I washed it down with the Obata. That's okay with the Obata. I say, sometimes you just have to do what you have to do to get through it. You know what I'm saying? All right. Thanks, Charles. Charles 2.0. And user 225 says, just updated my profile pic, Lennon. Hope you like it. Okay. User 225, he's trying to get him a super queen. He like black women. That's what it comes down to. That's all that is. He trying to come up. Okay. Thank you for that. LL says, I'm familiar with the area. Buildings been sitting. Yep. They've been sitting a very long time. D Brown says, let's make the likes match the votes on the poll. That would be awesome. Thank you so much, D Brown. Mixer Monica says, how's it going? Says, I want to see your brother Jose skit. Thumbs up the show, family. Okay. Yeah, that's a classic one, brother Jose. Thanks, Mr. Monica. Where's my thingy here? Because if I don't do it today, the next time I live stream, I'll do brother Jose intro. In 2021 against Umar, I was wondering what happened since then. Yeah, it was the state of Pennsylvania. They sent Umar a cease and desist, and they were basically telling him that he could not collect donations in the state of Pennsylvania because he didn't have his paperwork in order.
Dang.
They couldn't find certain documentation. He's a con man. I mean, that's his own. He's from Philadelphia. I mean, if your own state is saying no, but you know what Umar did? Because remember, he was collecting. He had a PO box in Pennsylvania. What he ended up doing was he set up one in Wilmington, Delaware, and he stopped promoting the one after this. He stopped promoting the one in Pennsylvania. See, so yeah, they were on to him too. They were on to him. So there's different things that have happened. One last thing before we get into it. One last thing. With Umar, when we talk about this, the government intervention, these are things that we know about, okay, that we can find documentation of, etc. Okay. And I can't remember if I was the one that broke that story or not, dealing with the cease and desist. I can't remember if it was me or not because it was such a long time ago. But the point is that this is stuff that we know based upon documentation. Okay. How much is out there that we don't know about that's going on, dealing with the government coming down on Umar, for his fraudulent activity? Remember, the Board of Psychology in Pennsylvania also brought charges on Umar for misrepresenting himself as a licensed psychologist. He's never been licensed and currently holds no certifications to any professional certification, even though he's still telling people that he does to this day. Umar admits too that he was never licensed. So he can't just work arbitrarily and do whatever he wants to whenever he wants to as a psychologist or a school psychologist or a therapist. But they were saying, okay, you're misrepresenting yourself, so we're going to call you to task, and you have to prove to us that you're not misrepresenting yourself. And he was able to prove, at least that's what the court felt, as if, okay, you've proven that you're not misrepresenting yourself as a licensed therapist. Umar spun the story like it was an attack from the government. They're trying to take away my credentials and all my certifications and all this stuff. Because that's just Umar dramatization, over dramatizing shit. It wasn't that serious. Okay. But that's what Umar does. He always spins things in a particular way in his favor to make it seem as if he's being persecuted and it's always someone else's fault, et cetera, et cetera. He's a perpetual victim. Okay. Thank you, that hip, for that super chat. Just Art says Umar is like Tommy from Martin. Yeah, I've said that many times. He ain't got no job. Thank you, Just Art in Paint. And then Suzanne says, I just want to hear you say Mama's closet. Okay, no, but seriously, thank you for your diligence in exposing this grifter. You're a gift to our community. Well, thank you for those kind words. I've tried my best to do what I can, and there's other people that have done a fantastic job too. I appreciate the kind words, and I have to say, and then we're gonna get into it. I've always been fair with Umar. Okay, there's times where I've been upset and mad at Umar because things that he's done, but I've always been fair. Okay, I continue to be fair, and I always give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, but even that being said, it's undeniable that this man, it's not even, he don't operate like a man, that this con artist is a detriment to the black community. I'm gonna say one other thing, and we're gonna get to it. That if Umar was doing this to any other group of people, he would have been done a long time ago. But because he's doing it to black people, it's been going on far too long. See? All right, thank you, Suzanne. Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate it. Okay, thanks everyone who sent in super chats.
I'm down with him just because of that. How do you stop a person like this, but fighting back with power? My channel, his channel, and other channels, man, This is why I'm doing this. This is my way of giving back, because somebody might click on this that's in my algorithm and not his algorithm and not Dr. Umar algorithm and say, this guy's trying to bring a black man down. And then he start figuring it out and getting all the real deal. Then the algorithm pick up on all the negative stuff so you can get the story yourself. Yeah, algorithms, baby. I'm into this stuff.
Now let's get into it. I'm going to give a very quick, I'm going to try to do it within 5 minutes, represent what I shared with you. I broke the story yesterday, and then we're going to get to videos from Umar from today. Okay, there's quite a few of them. We'll go step by step. So I showed this yesterday, and I'm going to show it again. Hold on one second. So this is what was posted on Umar on these buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. And this is the one for the large building. It's a munition. Okay. It was e-filed August 5th, 2025. I don't have the PDF copy yet. If anyone comes across it, you can always email it to me, but I'm gonna keep looking for it once it becomes available. And that way it'll be easier to read. I was struggled through reading this yesterday. So it was August 5th, 2025. The case number is N5, I think that's N5J02114. And let me just read this first paragraph, and then we'll do a quick overview of everything else that's on here, and then we'll get going here. Take warning to all persons having or claiming to have any title, interest, or lien upon the within described premises. Take warning that unless the judgment for the taxes or assessments stated herein are paid within 20 days after the date thereof, or within such period of 20 days, evidence of the payment of the taxes or assessments herein claimed shall be filed in the office of the protho notary. And I struggle with that, but there's plenty of people that correct me on that. Thank you all for your corrections yesterday. Someone emailed me about it too. Thank you so much. Which evidence shall be in the form of a receipted bill or duplicate thereof, bearing date prior to the filing of the lien in the office of the protho notary for Newcastle County. The city of Wilmington may proceed to, look at this, sell the property herein mentioned or described for the purpose of collecting the judgment for the taxes or assessment herein stated. And here's the property: is 610 East 17th Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19802. Okay. And then it gives a breakdown of what for this particular size, this building. Okay, because there's three buildings altogether. There's two separate parcels. One building sits on a parcel. That's what this documentation is associated with. And then two buildings sit on the other parcel. For this building, the principal amount as of clocked in date total $17,810.77. Okay, $17,810.77. Okay, so real quick, this was e-filed August 5th. So 20 days later would be the 25th. Umar has until the 25th or 26th, we'll just say 26th, to come up with this amount of money. Okay, and this is just for one side of the street. The other side of the street is $20,577.45. You add it together, Umar owes $38,388.22. He doesn't handle business. That's the theme for today. Right? So that's the first page right there. Here's the second page right here. This is the writ of monition. Okay, I won't read through this, but if you look at the top, it does say City of Wilmington, Principal Corporation of the State of Delaware, then versus, okay, this is in the Superior Court of the State of Delaware. Man, it says Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, RBG International Leadership Academy, Inc., and the parcel, they give the parcel number for that side of the street. This is the large building where there has the large gym where the damage took place, the vandalism where Umar stores his junk, okay? All right, here's the next page right here. It just breaks down all of the different fees and or assessments that are owed. And these assessments they go back. If you look right here, 2020, 2020, 2020, there's 2023, 2021, 2019. All right, you add all this up. This one, you can see 2000, I can't even really see it that well. 2025, it says due date right for that one. It looks like the top one there, it says due date of 2017. And people would say, well, how is that possible when he didn't acquire the abandoned buildings until 2019? Well, there were still fees, utility, it's associated with utilities and water and that type of thing that were still accruing from the previous owner that were not paid. And when Umar purchased these abandoned buildings in 2019, Umar, he takes on the responsibility of that. He didn't clear that. And there's a process he could have gone through to clear all this, but he didn't handle business. See, this right here, it looks like 2020. That's one of the years that I see right there. This one right here is, I see 2020 right here. And then this one is, I see 2020. All right. Okay. So this is one side street. Now what I want to show you guys is, because I did a little research on top of this yesterday, and I shared it with everyone yesterday. So I want to share it with you guys again. So let's see which one. Okay. So here it is right here. Let me do a screen share. All right, and I gave instructions on how you guys can find this yourself in the comment section for this video. I'll post the instructions again, and then you guys can look at it when you have some time, where you can go and look this all up. So Umar can't deny this. He can't say that the document that I showed him was doctored, because the document is what I used in order to find this case ID. And this is Court Connect. This is in Delaware. It's a government building. All right, excuse me, a government website for Delaware. Here's the case ID for what we see in that paperwork. And then here's the case ID again, plaintiff versus Frederick Douglass. Obviously, the plaintiff is City of Wilmington. The filing date was Tuesday, August 5th of 2025. Okay, so this was filed 4 days ago. Umar, the paperwork that I showed, that was from yesterday, was sitting on the door. And Umar obviously had not gone back to the abandoned buildings to see that he may have now since that time, but he's traveling right now. He may not have gone back up there, but if Umar had been up there since the filing date, he would have actually seen those documents, and he would have taken them down, because I'm sure he wouldn't want people to know about it, and he wouldn't want me to expose him or anyone else to expose him for this. But obviously he hasn't been up there in at least a couple of days. Okay, again, it just shows you he's not handling business. So if we scroll down here, there's just information about the lawyer, the attorney that's handling this case, about Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, et cetera, et cetera. What I want to look at, though, is this down here. If you look down here, it says initial filing monitions, see image attachment for judgment, details, date, document. And these image attachments aren't working for me. If it worked for anyone else, let me know. Okay, and I've tried different ways. Took off my ad blocker, tried in different browsers. It just may be that the website hasn't updated with the actual PDF file, but at some point it'll be available. We'll cover it. August 6, 2025, judgment entered jointly and severally against Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, RBG International Leadership Academy, Inc. Tax parcel. Here's a parcel number right here for the tax. Judgment amount to be paid as follows. Judgment amount $17,810.77. Okay, so what it shows too is that there's water and sewer charges. There's also exterior improvement charges. There's also vacant registration fee. The property's been on vacant property list from the beginning, and that's the bulk of this is $15,500, because Umar hasn't done anything with these abandoned buildings. They're still on the vacant property list too. That's a waste of money. He's wasted. That's $15,000 right there. That's wasted. But altogether, just on this parcel, it's $17,810. Okay, now let's go to the second one. I don't have the document for this one in terms of the actual pictures that I showed. But this was posted on the other building. And if we look right here, I was able to find the other, because I just had to do some research. I was able to find the other case ID. This one is N25J-02115. Can y'all see that? And then if we scroll down to the bottom, it says initial filing monitions, see image attachment for judgment details, dated docketed August 6, 2025, just like the other one, judgment is entered jointly and severally against Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, RBG International Leadership Academy, Inc. Tax parcel number, gives it a tax parcel number. Judgment amounts to be paid as follows. Judgment amount $20,577. Water sewer charges $4,650. Man. Vacant registration fee $15,000, $15,726.70. Civil penalty charges $200. And then if you add all that up, you come up with $38,388.22. Okay. Now, one other thing I want to show you all, and there's someone who sent me this even in advance of me getting the information that I shared. I broke the story yesterday, and they sent me this. I think it was the day before. Could have been 2 days before. But if you look down here, See this right here. This is the I can't remember. I think this is the vacant property list from back in the day. But if you look right here, East 17th Street, 611, 610. Okay, these are the abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. Here's Douglas, Frederick, and Garvey Marcus. Okay, and this ties to how, anyway, that's the whole backstory to this when you look at the deed. RBG International Leadership, P.O. Box, etc. Look at the date there. If we scroll down, it says 2016. October 3rd, 2016, October 3rd, 2016. Umar didn't purchase these abandoned buildings until 2019. So what is going on here? I talked about this yesterday, that Umar, when he acquired these abandoned buildings in 2019, that there were bills that were due from the previous owner. And by him acquiring the properties, he is responsible because he didn't clear them. There's ways to clear it. But he didn't do, because he don't handle business. He's and really you donors, you're responsible to pay for these back fees. Okay. And the reason why I thought about that and I drew the correlation was because if we go back to the initial document, this one right here, and I don't know where it's at, but it talks about how the fees that have been accumulated, it's right there. If you guys look towards the middle, right over because I have Linen Honor in the middle. Look at that, the watermark, and right above that, if you guys can see that, it says water and sewer charges, December 19th, 2016. Y'all see that? Hit the one. If y'all see that, hit the one. December 19th, 2016, December 30th, 2024 through May 29th, 2025. All right, y'all see that? So this is how my mind works. When I saw that date on there, I said, wait a minute, I remember, and I don't want to say the person's name, this person X, sent me some screenshots the other day. And there's a correlation between this water and sewer charges, December 19th of 2016, right? And the document or the screenshot that I just showed you guys right here. You see that again? 2016. I said, All right. Now, let's start to bring this back all together. So we have all this stuff going on with Umar. This year we have his daughter coming out exposing him as a deadbeat, which I told people a long time ago. Talking about how he was abusive. I told you Umar has an abusive personality. He was abusive to the mama. That's what she claims. That Umar wasn't paying child support like he claimed to do, which I've been telling people for a very long time. And then we have other situations that have happened this year, including Lene exposing Umar and his mother's situation. I've talked about Umar's mother's situation, especially as it relates to him living with his mama since 2020 and how she was on Section 8 housing. Okay, we've talked about that even before Lene came out to tell in great detail about what's happening with Umar and his mother, and Umar's family too, by the way. We also have a situation that happens where Umar is claiming that someone stole his bank account information. He's alleging that it was Lene. Then he goes to Africa. He begs for money, and then he goes to Africa after he uses the black people's money that he begged for, and then he comes back, right? So he begs for money, goes over to Africa, lives it up, comes back, and then he says that his bank accounts were frozen. Then he begged for more money. Meanwhile, what I've just showed you all, these receipts, it's not like Umar didn't know that this was coming down the pike. It's not like Umar was unaware that these bills were due. He knew that there were bills due when he purchased these abandoned buildings. He knew that bills were due from February of 2019 to present. He just decided not to pay on these bills. And so now the city of Wilmington said, okay, enough is enough. We're going to get this money out of you, or we're going to take these buildings. I don't know if we would call it foreclosure. Would they call it foreclosure? Is that what it would be called? Someone real quick, if you're knowledgeable about it.
Dang, somebody in the chat is saying, wait a minute. The daughter said he didn't even take her mom home after giving birth. The daughter said he didn't even take the mom home from the hospital once they gave birth and stuff. That ain't
about this. Would it be that they're foreclosing, or would it be that they're attaching a lien to the properties, and then at a certain point they'll just take possession based upon the lien of the properties? The other question I have too is this a law? This isn't a lawsuit per se, because it's not, even though it's actually it is, isn't it? Someone, if anyone knows, please let me know inside the chat room, because it does say verses on there. Okay, so that's it. This is another thing that comes up, right? He claims that his bank accounts were frozen, but I think that Umar, he was trying to get ahead of this actually coming to the public, because this should become public record at a certain point. So someone said a forfeiture. Okay, I don't think it's an eviction. I don't think it's an eviction, because that would be eviction paperwork. We do know this, though. It's going down. We do know that. Someone said they would initiate foreclosure procedures. Okay, again, this is not my expertise. That's why I'm asking. Okay. Okay, so maybe that would be.
Love it, man. You gotta love a real man that says, I don't know. I don't know what they talking about. I'm learning. And I'm willing to, if somebody knows, can you please step up and say something? Because I'm sick and tired of the guesses. You gotta be sick and tired of people guessing. I'm 59, man. I ain't got time to guess no more. But can we get facts? That's what he's looking for, man. I'm gonna let this play a little while longer. I'm gonna do a part three.
What's going to take place here? But the point is that it's huge.
This is very
right?
huge.
So I have a sense that what Umar is going to do is he's going to try to blame this, and there's other people that's proposed this, like in comment sections from the video that we did yesterday, that what Umar is going to do is he's going to claim that because his bank accounts were frozen, that's why he didn't pay this. But these bills go back from when he purchased these abandoned buildings 6.5 years ago. This makes sense. And then there's also bills that he's on the hook from the previous owner that weren't paid. And when he takes possession of these properties, he's liable for those bills.
So what you're saying is the bill's been there before the cookouts came. You're having cookouts, but you ain't paid your bills. Is that what you're telling me? Come on, man. Let me know.
So he can't use that excuse. I'm talking about logically and reasonably based upon the facts, but he will paint some sort of a narrative, and that may be the narrative. And he, some of his followers, they will believe it. Okay.
I can't wait.
All right.
This is a
okay. And then let's see. A Giant Step says, and then they will foreclose. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the process is going to be, but it's not going to be right away. I do know that.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. If you owe the government money for electric bill or whatever the case may be, there are laws in place. I don't know how strong the law is, but if you owe a bill, back taxes or anything, the government has a right to collect their money. So what they would do is they would take what's valuable, your car, your motorcycle, your house, the property. They would take something that's valuable and auction it all so they can pay their bill, so they can get their money. That's all they want to do is get their money. And this is law. This is law. This is why I'm so interested in seeing what he's going to say about this. And I really like him more, because if he don't know and don't understand, he going to tell you, I don't know and I don't understand. I'm telling you the facts. I'm telling you what I've been through. They don't want the property. What they going to do with the property? They want that bill paid. That's it. If you owe an electric bill and you got that property and you got some equity in that property, they want to get rid of the property. So they just give me my electric bill you owe with all the processing fees on the electric bill. That's it. That is it, man. The water bill in his case. That's all they want, is to get their bills paid. So I'm gonna cut it right here, man. Uncle Mike like to joke and everything and have some fun and all that stuff, man. But this person needs to be stopped, man. I can't wait to see what he got to say. He got to say something. I'm gonna turn this off since I'm stuck. He got to say something, people. And today, recording this one is the 12th, August the 12th, 2025. August the 12th, 2025. I think it's August. Yeah, it's August. I'm just playing. Anyway, I'm hoping that if it's somebody that's still supporting Dr. Umar on this date, it's only because they haven't gotten the right information. They're too busy living their life, and they too busy. They already got the wall up, you know. You already got the wall up saying, this is what I believe. So it takes time to peel that wall down to let people understand that, yo man, you need to look around that wall. What? Oh, that's what? Some more stuff? Oh yeah. Wait a minute. Maybe I should be smart. Maybe I should be a smarter person and let me evaluate this stuff. Yeah, you right. Why does it take that long? I just thought it'd take a long time to open up a school. Cause it's a school. This ain't opening up no bookstore. Takes a little while to open up your own business. Take a little while to open up something. I don't know. Never opened up a school before. How long it takes? Research. There are people out there that said that, man, so and so opened up his school in 6 months. Open up a smaller school. Educate some people. I'm about to get into a school situation, man. I'm texting right now and I'm like, oh Lord. This sounds good, and I'm coming up with ideas where the kids can, as a class, they can record and do documentaries on other kids to get this kid thing going on, and we can teach them how to do it through a YouTube channel, how to do it through marketing promotion on Instagram. In today's world, marketing promoting on social medias. I might be opening up my own school. It's like, you know, Dr. Umar didn't open up a school, but this guy, Uncle Mike, opened up a school. How did he do it? I don't know. I'm going to do it with God's help. And this is all, I'm just thinking about this right now. With God's help and listening to people and getting people like Leonard to support. All these people that have these ideas. Anybody that's in his chat room that got an idea, anybody in my chat room that has an idea, you have to listen to them, not push them away. Well, you know, I don't need your help. Shit, not Uncle Mike. I need everybody's help. In fact, I need somebody to be in front to preach and talk about the schools. If we all united, we stand. Divided, we fall. Why y'all don't? Everybody, we should know this stuff, man. We should know this stuff. I ain't too big. I just like playing instruments. I don't supposed to be on this thing talking this stuff. I like this guy. I really like him. I like a lot of YouTubers, man. They don't have no choice but to wear their realness, their truth on their shoulders. Wear your truth on your shoulders and I like you. You know, I don't like the fact that your head is shinier than mine. He don't have no hair, I don't have no hair. Let's get it. He got more black hairs and I got more gray hairs. I don't like that either. I don't like that. Clean little background. He mentioned he got kids and stuff. I don't have no kids. I wish I had a family, but hey, this is what God gave me and I'm happy and proud of it. With that being said, I'm gonna get on up out of here. Y'all pay attention to part 3. Uncle Mike about to get busy. I'm about to get busy, man. I gotta write a school curriculum. Why is the Lord got me listening to this Dr. Umar stuff? I'm great. I ain't opening up no school yet, y'all, but I might be opening up a class from. How about that? I ain't opening up no school, but I just might be opening up a classroom come August the 25th. Maybe. Hey, stay tuned. I keep y'all posted. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.